Hello, welcome, seers, mystics, and psychonauts. Well, I think I got it in the wrong order, but whatever. It's been a long time, so I don't even remember the introduction here. So, welcome to another edition of Magus Maximus. Hold on. I'm wearing the hat just to, because somebody had asked on, I think it was on the one where I had criticized Darling, and I said something about my hat, and somebody said that they wanted to see my badass wizard hat, which I think I kind of oversold it, especially because it's gotten a little bit more ratty because it's made out of felt, but it's like quality felt. So it is actually, I'm going to take this part off of it. It's basically a Gandalf hat. So like Gandalf would wear it going back, right? So it's pretty much a Gandalf hat. And I put this on here to basically to accessorize it, because like if you can't make a tool yourself, the second best thing is to put something on it to the thought just kind of came out of my head. Accessorize it and add stuff to it, because when anything you put that's your touch onto something, it makes it more connected to you. So it's best to make everything yourself if you could, but most people can't do that. Well, I'm going to take this damn thing off and set it over here. So what I was wanting to talk about was, okay, I started experimenting with God forms, assumptions of the God forms, and had some very interesting results. Not results so much like experiences. So first time I just think of the God form, I see the picture and you kind of like, there's probably more to it that some people will tell you to do, but I think it's kind of different per person. But I was easily able just to like imagine the image around me like a costume, and so at first I just did it to experience it, and like I think I did a couple of different ones. It is interesting because you kind of there's like almost a conversation going on in your brain between and I looked this up later on, like, because this sounds kind of nuts, but it's actually, they say that can be the result of assuming the God forms. So, the first one I did was, it's because he was in this box of tarot cards, the Aleister Crowley, which is an update of the Thoth deck. I believe there's that too, it's Thoth. Thoth is on the card, so I got the idea because Thoth was on the card which is the magician, which is connected with I don't know which. I really don't have the names memorized, but the blue one right here, the Sephiroth. This is connected to that, which is mercy. Oh, that was my point. Okay, so Thoth. So I took the God form of Thoth, and Thoth seemed very interested in my books, and like not just the books and what they are, but more so how they're made and how and he said that he preferred papyrus better than this flimsy paper. He said even though it's nice and smooth and it is a nice quality, he just doesn't think it would last. So, and I kind of, and it was stuff he talked about, like intellectual stuff. So I didn't really research to try to find out what the properties, how these God forms behaved, or what they were connected to, until after I did the experience. So I go back and I look them up, and Thoth was, well, I mean, I guess I should have known this, because I guess he's supposed to be Hermes or whatever, but that he was he was studious, he was all about books, he was a scribe. Well, I guess I didn't know he was exactly a scribe. So so very intellectual, and well, and you could say, well, that could be a fluke. You could have known stuff about that. Well, the one I didn't really know anything about was Osiris. There's other ones, and I had other experiences, but Osiris was cool because so Osiris, I was looking at. I had already assumed the god form, and that at this point I'm doing rituals in that god form assumption. So what was my point? Okay, my point is, I was looking at the magician card of the Aleister Crowley deck, which is Thoth, and then when the god assumption, I kind of had this conversation, and Osiris started talking about how stuffy Thoth was, and he was a know-it-all, and blah 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 blah. Dude had me cracking up the whole time. Except he doesn't, because he's not really existing. It's just a reaction of the process of your mind, like you're reaching, because you're reaching towards enlightenment. That's like the whole point of the high magic process. Like, if you're into something other magic, that doesn't mean that that's the point to yours, or you might have a different idea about high magic or ceremonial magic. But so anyways, he had me cracking up, and then I look him up, and it said that that Osiris was known to have he was known to have quite a sense of humor. And there were other ones, like I did one where I assumed the Zadkiel, the angel Zadkiel, some assumed him as a god form. And the only thing, I didn't have like any thoughts or ideas or weird almost conversations that really don't exist. But what I did do is I felt heavy. I felt so heavy, and even when I was trying to do my normal rituals, I just felt so heavy and so fatigued. And then I went and looked up things about assuming the angel Zadkiel as a god form, and it said that you have a feeling of heaviness. So, like, I'm not insane. These experiences I'm having are happening. I'm not lying. But it's something that they said that will happen. Probably a side effect or whatever, but it's like you're assuming them, so you're like taking on their thoughts and taking on their images, even though they don't really exist. They're thought forms. They're things that you're creating with your mind, inside your mind, basically. Okay, so what was my point in that? So I've had that experience, and then I got the idea of, and I'll do this, I'll try this like next week or something, of doing the God forms that connect to the different days of the week. So, and I did start, I started with, Osiris, Ra as because Ra is sun god, so Ra would be, Sunday, and then I was going to go, Monday was Isis, connected to the moon. I think there's several ones you could use for that, but basically I was going to try to do that, but on yesterday, on Sunday, I just felt like like I've overdone it, that I need to like take a step back and chill out and let my brain rearrange itself back to the way it's supposed to be. So anyways, so I'm taking a break. So that's what you do if you're doing a certain operation, a certain ritual or spell or whatever you want to call it, and you're getting side effects like fatigue or something, or where you're not feeling good, take a step back. Take a step back, and I think I've made a whole video of this. And then once you feel like you're back to your good old self, that you're well rested, then you go back and try it again, because happens a lot. Like the first time I did the Shem Hamefarash operation, which is basically I learned it the way Damien Eccles does it, where it's done like the invoking ritual of the pentagram. So you do it that way. You do it in that form, and I'm not going to explain the whole thing. You can read his book. You can see how to do that and what I'm actually talking about. So, but you're doing it, and you're basically invoking all of these angels of the 72 names that were made from the 72 names of God, the Shem HaMephorosh. And so you do that. So basically what happened when I first did it, it kicked my ass. And I put things on, and it's hard to deal with people on Facebook groups. Like, there's only like 1 or 2 Facebook groups that I will go on and actually post stuff, because most of them are full of a bunch of damn asshole trolls that just want to cause problems. So usually I don't deal with that. So what was my point? Oh yeah, because I put that on there and talked about it, and there are some people who are mean because they didn't experience the same thing, but a lot of them were nice. So at this one particular group. So basically, sometimes it happens. It might not be the Shem HaMephorosh, it might not be the godforms, but something's going to exhaust your energy especially when you're beginning. But then later on, as you progress, there's going to be the same things. It might not hit you as hard. So what you do with that is you just step back from doing whatever it is that you feel is giving you the issues. So, because you don't want to push yourself. You don't want to push yourself to the point of insanity, because according to like lore and stuff, that if I'm going to use that name, that people have gone insane in certain magic things. Like, I think there was some like it was like Kabbalah stuff. Like, there's these legends in Kabbalah where these guys went into the basically the temples in heaven, and how like they did something that one died, one went insane, and one survived and made it and actually came back from the experience. See, but you don't know how much of these are a bunch of bullshit, because back in the day they had all these stories. It's basically like gossip, so you don't know what you can trust on those kind of things. But I mean, just think of those as a something to look at and be like, okay, if that's a possibility, maybe you just need to take a step back. What else about this? Okay, so yeah, I basically had that experience, and that was cool. And I was gonna one thing I'm gonna ask you guys, if you guys want, and if I'm capable of doing it, if there's a certain ritual that you want me to basically do a demo of, at least demonstrate it the way I do it, because like, I'll do some Golden Dawn rituals, but I don't have as much space, so I do a form of it that allows me to work within the limitations of the space that I have. So okay, and another thing, I've been watching some stuff. There was this cool interview with Damien Eccles. It's not the one posted on his channel. It was some other guy that posted it, and he was talking about, at some point, I forgot the context of it, but he was saying how people think magic is blah blah blah, and then he's like, magic is something you do. And I look up to the guy, because he kind of is the reason I was able to even figure out some of these rituals, because he took stuff that was complicated and he was able to put it in words in his books and in his podcasts or whatever, in words that it's easy to understand, and it's easy, like it's more like an instruction book, some of his books are like that. But the whole point is, like, so I look up to him, and that being said, I kind of disagree with him on that. At one time I would have. I don't think magic is something we do. I think it's magic is something we are. And I think we're all part of it. We just don't realize it's there, and we don't realize that we can manipulate it and use it to do certain things. Like, okay, so I don't really do a lot of practical magic okay, yes, the rituals I do are basically kind of a practical thing, but when we're talking about magic, I don't do much practical magic of this to get me that and this to get me that and all that, and like I've only done a few things. There's one thing that I actually, sure, it can be pure coincidence, and it could be, but it could be that the ritual worked. I had done a few rituals because I needed a car, and I prayed for a car for me and my girlfriend, and that I put it out there that the only way we would be able to get a car is if it was given to us, and that we would have enough money to, the money would come when it needs repairs and stuff, so that we'd be able to repair it because we're very poor. And so then I forgot about it, and I think other people were praying, and I think it probably pulled the prayers in, if that's a thing. And so I totally forgot about it, and then all of a sudden we get a call from, I think it was a call, well anyways, her, Becky's cousin actually gave us a car, and it was like, wow. And I mean, you could say it's a coincidence, but that's a hell of a coincidence. It can't be luck, because I'm unlucky. I'm one of the, well, I'm not super unlucky, but I'm not a lucky person, so it couldn't be luck. And I know things just happen like that. So on that part, I disagree with him. And so the only thing I have to say, I have another thing, and I hope people don't get mad at me that are her fans again. Okay, so this one's about something I saw of, oh, what is her name? She goes, I forgot what her actual name is. She goes by Darling, and not Dat Darling, because she pronounces that wrong, and so does probably most of the people that criticize her. And I had criticized her, and I was kind of mean, and people were on some of the things. I was correct on some things, but I was a little mean, and I kept getting like all these like basically hate mail from people, well, not really hate mail, but like on the comment section, I got a lot of them hating on me for something, even though they couldn't prove that I was a terrible person for it. So I'm gonna try to keep the pot shots down. I'll try not to make fun of her costumes, even though I think they're ridiculous. And but so do what you want with the costumes, I don't care. But the concentration should be on the information she's giving out, especially when she's wrong about something. So yeah, and she associates with really bad people, but that's a whole other subject. This is the point of that. She talked about Enochian magic, right? So, and she's like, it's in the reason it's so in the back of the book of the Golden Dawn is because it's dangerous and blah. No, it's not. And she's just spreading they're old tales, they're old urban legends about stuff like that. The reason it is advanced, I'm gonna agree with that it's advanced, and it's probably not for beginners, but not for the reason she's saying. It's advanced in the back of the thing because it is hard to do. It is hard to understand. It is hard to figure out. First, because it was created by this guy back in the Renaissance period, John Dee, which she also talked about. John Dee was very advanced in magic by the time he came up with or was given Enochian magic, whatever you want to believe about that. So it's really advanced in like, as far as like those kind of things go. So like, you probably have to be at a certain level of understanding of magic to really understand that, or you're just, because I have a like beginning the grimoire where the guy tried to lay it out as like for a more beginner type people that were trying to just get a sampler of what Enochian magic was. And it's like, this is way over my head. And that's why it was advanced, and that's why it wouldn't be till the higher, what was it, the inner circles or whatever the hell they call it. Yes, I'm not, my information is kind of foggy on that. I don't keep details in my head, but I know the basic concepts of things. So anyways, it's really difficult, and that's why it's advanced and it's put in the back and it's reserved for the higher ranking people, because like you have to have a working understanding of it and of magic to the level in order to do that. And even though and this will go into my next thing too, so even though I was a armchair magician for like 20 something years, more like close to 30 years before I actually began practicing, because I just began practicing like 6 years ago. So what was my point? Oh, so I've had all this information behind me when I was coming into it, so I already have like a lot of knowledge of how it works and all that stuff before I went into working it. And so I'm not super advanced. It's been 6 years, but I've been practicing and I have all this information from behind me from that. Some of it I need to brush up on, but so I already had a working understanding of how these things work. And I'm going to tell you that Enochian is freaking way over a lot of people's head. It's very complicated. And that undertaking, something that was described by a guy who lived in the Renaissance period. Oh, so that goes to my next thing. And I've seen things where it shows, and like people will like pick out and try to put down people who are armchair magicians because they just read about it and they don't go and do it. Well, it's actually a good idea to be an armchair magician for a while. It can be a good thing. And maybe someone never wants to practice it, and they're just interested in it. Like, what's wrong with that? And then if you are an armchair magician, it's easier to get into it and know how to do it because you've got all this knowledge of mystical and magical things that you already learned. So don't put people down for being armchair magicians. You gotta think about it. Probably a lot of us were armchair magicians in the beginning, and so hey, I mean that there's a lot of hate online. There's a lot of complaining and going back and forth and bickering, and that's why I took that old video I had where I was talking about Darling, because I said some mean things. I did. I was kind of angry at the time because I just saw her as this person that's some of her stuff you can read Wikipedia when she's doing it, and it's literally she'll be talking about verbatim. It'll be verbatim of Wikipedia, and even though she's probably a better speaker than I am, I just don't like someone who gives out false information because she probably doesn't care if she gives out false information. It's all about her show. It's all about the brand. And that's what really bothers me. I could have said that in a nicer way, and I was mean, and so I kept getting a lot of people, fans of hers, that were calling me out, but they weren't being nice, and they weren't calling me out for, like, they were trying to say I didn't say anything that was like, basically they're saying I only made fun of the way she looked and how she did her costumes, and I didn't say anything about about her giving out false information. And I did. I had even said that a lot of times she'll be reading Wikipedia verbatim. So okay, so I'll stay away from the costumes, even though I think they're silly. I'll stay away from whether I think she's just using her looks to get more views. But let's cut that out, and I'm gonna point out that she says things that aren't right. She gives out false information, and a lot of the stuff she could research a lot more, and she doesn't, and it kind of irritates me because maybe that's the problem. Maybe I take the art of magic too seriously. Maybe we should take some tips from the what do they call it? Chaos magicians, and just be a little silly about it, and and invoke Scooby-Doo instead of angels or whatever the hell they do. Like, it's pretty cool. I still don't quite understand what it is, but it's results-based magic, which it's not really something that I'm into. Of like, it doesn't make me think, I don't think I'm better than you if you like to do something like stuff to get stuff for you. I mean, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm more into like seeking enlightenment. I'm more into stuff that's like, what I'm into is an enlightenment process. An enlightenment, oh, there's another word I'm thinking for, but I can't quite. Basically, a technology towards enlightenment. So that's what I'm into more. And I do use some practical magic sometimes. I mean, sometimes I need things, and I like to put it out there for things I need more than things I want. And so, like, I'm like, you can believe me or not believe me about the whole car thing, but I did what I did. I forgot it. There was a car there. Someone could say it was the prayers. Well, I've prayed for stuff, and I've had people pray for stuff, and it never materialized. It could be just a total coincidence. Who knows? So, I don't know if I have anything else to say. Magic-wise, I don't know. Just, oh, that was what I wanted to say. Oh, did I already ask that? Yeah, I already asked the thing about if you had any like rituals that I might know to show you how to do it. It would be stuff out of like, it would be like the Golden Dawn stuff, the basic stuff, like the pentagram rituals, because I know because I do that one, and nowadays I'm just doing the greater pentagram ritual. I rotate days. I'll do what is it? I'll invoke on one day and I'll banish on the next day, and so I've been doing this for 6 years every day. So there's things that the advanced stuff, don't ask me. I mean, I might know something, but it's mainly like the basic rituals. I might. So I've already asked that, but I'm clearing it out there. And if I can't do it, I can't do it. But if I can do a demonstration of it, I will. Let's see. All right, I guess that's all. I'll see you guys later. Take care.